Beijing Science and Education Film Studio. In the north of China, there's a well-known ancient stone structure called the Great Wall. The Great Wall was built originally because of the wars between the kingdoms about 2,000 years ago. From then on, countless wars broke out, and the Great Wall witnessed the rise and the decline of the Chinese feudal society. The earliest part of the Great Wall was built in the 7th century of BC, when some 20 kingdoms and dynasties keep expanding and repairing the wall for 2,700 years. If all the parts of the Great Wall that were built by each of these dynasties were connected, the total length would stretch over 5,000 kilometers. Although the Great Wall now is a abolished ancient military construction, its aesthetic features attract people more and more. Therefore, it is often called a magnificent form of the art. You may feel the aesthetic concept of the earlier designers from the chronos of the wall. The range of these structures indicates a kind of harmony and rhythm. The watchtowers were used for the gardening, storage, and living. Climbing to the top of the mountains to get a view of surrounding country, you will see how beautiful the towers are now. The tower is just like a joint of a plant. Without it, the Great Wall will not be able to manifest its inside movement. Looking at the shape of the Great Wall, you will find the expression of Chinese architectural style. Instead of concentrating on the passion, the earlier builder seek a manifestation on the whole imposing structure. On the architecture structure, the Great Wall is unstable and firm. The basic materials are brick, stone, and the earth. The wall, the paths, and the tools connected with the geometry shaped in terms of squares, symmetry, and balance. The more we observe the Great Wall, the more we respected the people who built it. It is a miracle that moved thousands of the stones to the top of the mountain by means of the manual labor. A snake-like line, minted by the vivid terrain, attracted people to chase a different view of the Great Wall. That vividness indicates the rhythm of the nature and manifests the movement of the earth. Sky in the background. Based on the earth, the grand stone structure is a mosaic of the nature. When the sun is rising on the mountains of the Great Wall, a glorious landscape is displayed. This beautiful view is not only because of the environment, but the grand construction that fulfill the positive engine life. You may draw a relation from the incredible structure that the fact is it was the people who created the miracle. However, the Great Wall has varied in the style with the different terrains and the periods of time. Juyong Pass, the strategically located in the northwest of Beijing, was taken as a crucial guard for the capital of the feudal dynasties. There's a high white marble stage which is called Yuntai inside of the pass. Moreover, precious pictures are carved on the gate of the pass. It was said the strategically is not the pass of Juyong, but the wall of Badaling section. The wall of Badaling was built on the ridge of the mountains. The precipitous mountains made a great wall look even more magnificent. Going along the wall from the Badaling section to the northeast, we reach to the wall of the Mutianyu section. Although the Mutianyu is called the strategical pass and the precipitous wall. It has a lovely scenery in summer. 慕田峪 section in the golden fall when the short summer pass silently. 正阳台 The main pass of Mutianyu Wall was built by the going through the mountains. It is a unique construction that combines the three towers and forms an outstanding style of the Great Wall. Climbing to the 20th tower and going forward to the west, you will reach the Jianlou, where the Great Wall built on the cliff and the precipice. According to the folklore, even the eagle has to fly with the face upward when he flies over the wall. The terrain slopes gently in the Jinshanling Wall, therefore, its function as a beacon fire system is obviously noticed. Further to the east is the wall of the Sima Tai section. Located on the Yanshan Mountain, Sima Tai Wall specializes with the more towers and various structure. It reminds the people how harsh the life of the soldiers was in the front tower. At top of the mountain, the Great Wall is there as the utmost point. At the foot of the mountain, a lake is shining. Going along with the Great Wall to the west, we'll reach the Shanghai Pass, which is called the first pass of the wall. Forward to the south, the Great Wall ends at the sea. We call the end of the wall as Dragon Head. Another end pass is Jiayu Pass, which is located in the desert of the west of the China. It also is well-kept of structure of the Great Wall. The local people describe the feature of the Jiayu Pass as an impregnable pass. Therefore, it is called the first impregnable pass of the wall. However, it was made of the earth. The Grand Gate there brings us to the back of the ancient time. Going along the wall to the west from the Jiayu Pass appeared a lonely town, that is the Yangguan Pass, with which no longer any wall is connected. In the west, 50 kilometers away of Yangguan Pass, a toll-like structure is bravely standing in the desert. This is Yumen Pass, a famous milestone in the Chinese history. The Great Wall here has been in existence for over 2,000 years already. It was constructed from mud, reed, and willow twig due to the shortage of the stone and brick at that time. facing the ruins of the Great Wall, you can feel the power of the time. The place reminds us of the history. However, the tragic end of the heroes ironically become of folklore when the sounds of steps from the breakers tell the people to remember the past. The beauty of the Great Wall is its spirit. The bricks and stones recorded not only the walls, but also the creation of the people. The wall fell to prevent the fall of the feudal dynasties. Going over the mountains and crossing the rivers, the Great Wall has extended for 50 kilometers during the 2,000 years. Thereby, its symbolism the creation of Chinese race. The Great Wall, a product of the Chinese race, is a concentrated wisdom of the people and the representation of the peace. The beautiful Great Wall, the Grand Great Wall.